Hello everyone, welcome to a Paper Flourish craft video. My name is Julie and today's video, I thought it was time we set a new Lavinia journal page challenge. We haven't had one probably for about 6 weeks with Christmas coming up. I thought everyone gets fairly busy this time of year, so I thought if we leave it till close to Christmas, pop one up, give you maybe 3-4 weeks to be able to make it. Once Christmas is out the way, you hopefully have a chance to just sit back, enjoy, create and make your journal page. Thank you so much for being involved in the journals this year. We'll keep them going next year. As always, if you're happy to do it, please send us a photo of your journal page to enquiries@paperflourish.com.au. We put together a compilation of the pages, of the photos, and pop it up on Facebook. Anonymous, we don't put your names up, but we just love to be able to share all of your beautiful creations. So thank you very much for being involved in the challenges. So the theme for this, for our, well, we'll call it our Christmas challenge, but the stamp I've decided to use is Once Upon a Dream. I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful sentiment, and there's so much we could do with that. So I'm going to make my journal page now using this as the inspiration. You do not have to stamp it on your page, just use it as your inspiration. If you've got the stamp or you do want to use it, of course that's fine, but please don't feel you have to use the stamp on your page. I've got a friend on my lap. Hello, Murphy. Just got a kiss. How about that? I think he's come along because I think he somehow knows what my plans are. Whoop, we're hopping up on the table now. Now I'm just going to pop the sentiment to the side there. I'm going to again use my Stamperia mixed media journal, the ring one, which means you can take the page out. Pop that to the side. The page I've chosen to use today. Would you like to have a look at it, Murphy? I think he does. I've chosen this because it's got just a very, very faint background, so quite dreamy, which goes along with the theme. Okay, Murphy, how are we going to do this? So my idea is the focus of my, I have to say this quietly, I think, big focus of my journal page is going to be Noof, the Lavinia cat, which maybe I have to call it Murphy, hey? Can that be Murphy the cat today? There we go, Murphy. And I've decided to use the swing bed now. This is the large one. It comes in 3 sizes, and we often use it as the swing, and we pop little creatures or fairies in it. But what I've decided to do is turn it upside down, and I'm actually going to use it as a mirror today. So something a little bit different. And I'm going to have Noof looking into the mirror, and we're going to have all the things he's dreaming of around the page. So that's my plan. So let's see how we go. All right, Murphy, where are we going to settle? He's gone to see my coffee cup. Oh, no, he's hopping down again now. I thought I'll show you my coffee cup today. This is another of my favourites. I don't really need to say any more, do I? My sister gave me this. She also gave me, it came with a pet bowl, and that's the crazy lady's cat. So Murphy's own food bowl as well. So I've just finished my coffee, but I said he likes the smell of coffee. Oh, we're settling down. We may get a tail across the table every now and again, and that's okay. Now I'm going to use today as another feature of the journal page, I'm going to play around with the Lavinia masking sheets. You get 4 in a pack, A4 size, so good size to work with. And what they do is they mask an area of your page when you're doing stamping or blending that you don't want to get that ink onto. So it protects an area of the page while you're working on it. What I've done already, I've cut a piece of a masking sheet and I have stamped the large swing bed onto it, and I've cut out the middle. You see there? So what I'm going to do is peel that off and pop it onto the page. So peel off the backing sheet. These are reusable. So once you finish with it, pop it back on the clear backing sheet and you can use it over and over again. It doesn't matter if it's got ink and things on it. It does not matter. Okay, so I'm just going to position this on my page. No, I'm just slightly off. Not quite straight there. Let's see if I can straighten that up a bit. Not sure where Murphy's gone. He's gone for a bit of a wander. Put that right down the bottom of the page, I think. That's better. And let's smooth it out. So that's now going to protect the outside while I stamp Noof in the middle, because I only want Noof's face to be looking through the mirror. So let's pop Noof onto a Lavinia acrylic board. I really only need to ink up the top part of the stamp because I just want to stamp Noof into the middle there of the mirror. I'm going to use the Nocturne, the black ink. Inked up, so let's position Noof now, looking through the mirror. Try and get Noof's ears in a little bit there. There we go. Okay, so when I take that away, you can see I've got Noof in the middle. We have got some of the Noof on the masking sheet as well, but in a moment when I peel this away, you'll just have the face sitting in the middle. It's going to look a bit weird because once I take it away, there will not be there won't be a mirror, but we're going to add that mirror back in a little bit later on. Okay, so let's peel off the backing sheet. So now we've got Noof floating in the middle of the page. I'm sure Noof would be really happy with that. I'm just going to pop this back onto here because then I can use that again, whether I'm using the same project or I just want to use the piece of masking sheet. So now we've got Noof floating in the middle of the page. I'm going to emboss the mirror onto the page. So I'm going to bring over my, this is my stamp press. I've got a Tim Holtz sticky grid sheet on here. It helps to hold the page or your card in place while you're working, while you're doing your work on the page. I'm just wondering, this way, big decisions. I'm going to position the mirror. So now it's going to look like a swing bed, but when I turn it up the right way, it'll look like a mirror. And we want Noof's face to be there in the middle. Now I'm going to stamp the mirror with Versamark Embossing Ink, the wet ink. I have a folded piece of white paper close by. Here it is. And I'm going to emboss in white. Okay, just in the white powder. So let's ink up the swing bed. Decided to pop it on the paper because I want to get a really good image, and I might just stamp it maybe twice just to make sure of that. So that's inked up with the Versamark. Of course, this is clear, so when I take it away you cannot see where it is, but there's that image there on the paper. Okay, let's take that away and let's get that embossing powder onto it straight away. Here's the folded piece of paper. This is the Ranger embossing powder, Superfine white. I should probably have gone over this with the Antistatic Pad first. That would have been a really good idea. And what I'm going to do, I can see it's got all the white there, but because I didn't use the Antistatic Pad, I've ended up with some of the embossing powder on Noof. So I'm just going to remove that. The amount of times I forget to use the Antistatic Pad. It will look really good to emboss Noof as well. I could have done that, but didn't. Okay, so that's taken the embossing powder. I'll show you in a moment. Just got it off the image of Noof. But I can see the embossing powder's gone really nicely onto the rest of the image. There we go. So Noof's back there. Let's pour this back in the jar before I spill it. I also want to emboss the sentiment onto the page, so I'll do that in a moment, but let's just seal that up first. And I'm going to emboss, heat up and finish that embossing of the mirror. You'll be able to see it now. Once it's embossed, you'll be able to see it coming through. we are. Okay, so now you might be able to see it a little bit better there, but the mirror is embossed onto the page there with the white powder. Now I want to have the sentiment. I'm going to pop it on my page, but I said you do not have to if you don't want to. But I'm going to pop it on, and I'm going to pop it right up in the top corner. So let's do that now. And I'm also going to do that emboss it with the white powder. So let's bring, I probably don't really need my stamp press at this point. I can do this with one of the Lavinia acrylic plates. So let's bring the sentiment onto here. Now this time, even though there's no image up there, I still don't want the embossing powder sticking everywhere. So I'm going to go over the paper with my Antistatic Pad, which I should have done with before. And ink up Once Upon a Dream with the Versamark. Let's stamp that up into the top corner. Make sure I've got it the right way up. It'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it, if you stamp the words upside down? Okay, let's get the paper back and emboss that with the white. There we go. Okay, put that back in. Embossing powder everywhere here. At least I didn't spill it this time. That's something, isn't it? And let's heat that up. It's a really sweet little sentiment. It's got some, it's not a clear sentiment. It's got little dots and things all around it. So it kind of comes out looking a little bit dreamy. You'll see that a little bit more clearer later on. But that's now embossed onto the page in the white. But if I show you here, I don't know if you can pick it up, but there's all these little dots and things around the words. It's very, very sweet. Okay. Now, I'm also going to use the masking sheets to mask off some circles while I'm inking up the background on the page. I'm just cleaning that embossing fluid straight away off the stamp. Find it best to get that off as quick as possible. It's pretty sticky. Let's bring down a sheet of paper. What I've done with the masking circles, so I've used the masking sheets again, and I've a set of nesting dies, circle dies, and what I find, they will not die cut masking sheets because of the plastic on the back. But what they do, you can, if you put that through your die cutting machine, it gives you a really strong impression, and it's extremely easy from there just to go around. It almost separates as you cut, but gives you a guide to cut out. And this, at the moment I've done circles, but you could do any shape. So I said the dies will not cut through, but they'll put the impression on there. So I've cut out all different size circles from masking sheets, and I'm going to attach them randomly onto the page, just in different areas. So you just peel off the backing. Again, you can reuse these. So hold on to the backing part. Okay, I'm just going to place these all on the page. I've placed all of the masking circles onto the page. Some of them I've just done partly on and off the page, just to add a little bit of interest. And what that's going to do now, as I blend the background, it's going to protect the journal page. So we end up with a blended background and these circles of white still there. Now I'm going to bring the blending in a little bit around the mirror as well, but I want to try and avoid as much as possible getting that ink onto Noof. Now I'm going to use a combination of blending tools. To go fairly heavy, I'm going to use my domed blender, the Tim Holtz one, and then if I want to go a bit lighter, I've got the stencil brush, and This is the medium size one, so it's a little bit finer. The ink I'm going to use over the background is dark denim, one of the Lavinia Elements inks, and this is one of the newer ones they brought out, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous blue colour. So let's start up in the top corner. And you can see, even as I'm blending over the top, you can actually still see Once Upon a Dream showing through. Now, to get it to show through even more, tissue or paper towel, just give it a wipe, and you can actually wipe that ink off the embossing. So now it's still there, the sentiment's there, but I've got the blue all around it. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend the background with the dark denim ink. So I've blended the whole background now. As I was going around the mirror, I did do that with the medium-sized stencil brush, just to give me a little bit more control to make sure I wasn't going over the image of Noof. And then I've blended the rest of the background with the dome blender, and then grab my tissue again or paper towel and just wiped the ink off the mirror. So that mirror, now you can see it a lot better. Now it's against that the dark background. Okay, so I've gone all over the top of the masking circles. They're all good. Now I want to get the bleaching happening with this. So when I cut out the middle of, where did I put it? There we are. When I cut out the middle of the mirror, I kept the part I cut out. And this is why I've done that. I want to do the bleaching, but I don't want it to go on Noof. So I'm going to cover and protect Noof with that masking sheet, just while I do this bleaching. Fan brush with water, and I'm just going to drop lots and lots of little drops of water, splatters of water onto the background. Over the top of the masking areas, it doesn't matter, that's going to protect that area underneath. You will see the bleaching starting to appear straight away. Leave it for a moment, and then I just blot it with the paper towel just to remove that excess water. Bit of a mess at the moment, doesn't it? But it's now about to really start to make sense what's going on here. As we now start to remove all of the masking sheet different pieces, I'll start with the one that's covered up Noof to begin. Just didn't want the water to go on Noof because it might have made the ink run. Now we're going to start to peel off these circles, and said, remember, you can use them again. You see how the masking sheets have protected the circles. They really stand out now, don't they? Big white circles on the page. Now at the moment, from all of the bleaching, this is a little bit wet, so I'm just going to get my heat tool and dry the page really well. It's now dry. I'm going to add some colour to the circles. And I'm just going to use the Lavinia blending brushes to do that. Now the colours I'm going to use, this is another one of the new colours that came out recently, Greensleeves. Very, very pretty colour. One, so I'm thinking I'm just going to go really light, take lots of the ink off, and then come on in and just add a light colour to the circle. Take a lot of it off. Not that I might do some circles in this, and then some I might do in the Della blue. Makes a good mirror, doesn't it, the swing bed? More in this lovely colour. No, we might leave it at that, and let's bring in, this is the Della blue, the Elements. Let's get my blue brush. Same thing, take lots and lots of ink off, and then I'm just going to come in and add a little wispy colour there. Lavinia have quite a few blue inks out now, and they're all different and they're all beautiful. Okay, Page is starting to come together. This was my sort of idea, or main thing. I just wanted to make sure Noof is looking in the mirror, and we go from there. So now I've got the colour on the spots, and let's start some stamping. So the theme of the journal, Once Upon a Dream. So I've got Noof looking in the mirror, dreaming of what? I think Noof will be dreaming of birds, mice, lots of birds, and more mice. So I'm going to stamp these images onto the, so I'm just going to straighten up the camera there. It's just gone a little bit wonky. Excuse me a moment. Hopefully that's going to hold a little bit better. Okay, so we've got colour on the spots here, and theme of the journal page, Once Upon a Dream. So Noof's looking through the mirror, dreaming of what? I think Noof will be dreaming of mice, birds, more mice, and more birds. So these are the images which I'm going to stamp on the journal page in these spots. So let's start to pop those into place. Just got my small, I'm going to do all of them in the Nocturne, in the black. So let's start with Tilly and Tango. So this is one of the mice. And I think this will go right here in one of the large circles. We are. And then where's that flock of birds? Lots and lots of birds. That would be a cat's dream, wouldn't it? As long as they just look and don't catch the birds, that's all good. So a flock of birds coming through. Let's have a look through here, I think. There we are. Lots and lots of birds. Okay, 4 birds over here we'll have a play with. This is Minni and Moo. So some more of the cute little cheeky mice. I love this one. Cute. And who else do? Minni and Moo. I use the mice a lot in Lavinia. Cutest stamps. We're going to pop this one just over here on the side. And now let's have a play with these 4 birds. Now this stamp here is called the Bird Collection, and it came, came in the latest release that Lavinia brought out. We've got the biggest bird. Let's stamp that one on first. I'm surprised Murphy didn't stick around to see the birds. I think Murphy might be having his afternoon nap. And this one here. Oh, look at that. We've got 3 birds left and I've got 3 spots left. So that worked out well. It's a cute little birdie. This little cute one. I hope you enjoyed doing the Lavinia journal pages. I love being able to use Lavinia stamps in a journal. It's something a bit different. And the tiny, tiny little bird. There we are. Noof's having a busy time dreaming of mice and birds. Right, there we go. I'll pop those stamps over there for the moment. So we've got all of the images on there now. 2 things left to do. If I can find them, here they are. We have 3 new sets of sentiment stickers came in from Lavinia. This one here is called the Life Word Collection, and I love this one up the top, Dream Big. I think that definitely belongs on the page, and I can see a spot for it right here. Dream Big Noof. Okay, almost done. Now the last thing I'm going to do, something really different. I've purchased last week in store the Couture Creations foiling pen. I've never had a foil machine. I haven't ever really done anything like that before, but I like the look of this, the hot foiling pen. So Couture Creations. It comes with 4 different nibs. Be very careful when this is heated up. Those ends, the nibs, are really, really hot. So please do not pull them out with your fingers unless you know they are cool, or use something like, say, tweezers or ply or something to remove it and pop one of the other nibs in. They're all different sizes. So this is the pen here. I've had it heating up on the side. I've chosen just a fairly decent, decent size. I think it might be the 3rd largest end to it there. And what I've done is I've actually got a power bank, and I have it connected to the power bank because it has a USB connection, so you do need to have it connected to power, and this is an easy way to do it. Of course, pink glittery power bank, of course, so that way you can just have it up on your desk. Now I'm going to show you what you can do, or this is just one of the things you can do. I've only just started playing with this, but how I'm going to use it today. So this is already heated up, green light on. Pop your foil down. I'm just going to do some dots, and I want to show you what's happened. See the little dots? How easy was that to get those little dots? So that's what I'm going to do on my background, I've decided, and it's going to end up looking like beautiful stars in the sky, and it's as easy as this. Dot, 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 dot. So I'm going to start just adding these dots over the entire background. I am having the best time ever. I've almost finished, but I have beautiful gold dots all over here. I even managed to get one here. It looks like the bird's got an eye. So I've just got a little bit more to do down the bottom. I'm in love with this pen. Such an easy thing to do, but what an amazing effect. I'm going to show you this up close in a moment, and hopefully you can see the beautiful gold foiling. So this is only really the first thing I've done with this pen. I've only had it a couple of days. This is amazing. Oh, I can see this pen being used in a lot of projects next year. Well done, Couture. What an amazing product. All right, I think that might be enough. I've got so many stars in the sky. I'll just turn that off. So now I'm going to let that cool down. I'm not going to take that nib out. Have a look at that. So many stars. Now I'm really hoping if I move that around that you can see the foiling, the effect. This has sparkly gold dots all over it. That is amazing. Can you see that? That's the last thing. I'm not going to add any more to my page. This is done. Wait to see what we can do with that in the new year. But today, this is my journal page. I would love to see your journal pages. We would love to see them at Paper Flourish. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I will put all the details of the journal challenge in the description for the video. But as I said, we won't put the Facebook post up till probably mid to end of January to give you a chance to settle in after Christmas, and when you feel ready, create your journal page. Thank you so much for watching, for taking part in the journal pages, and I look forward to a lot more crafting with you in the new year. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.